Good evening and welcome to the June 23rd, 2022 meeting of the Yorktown Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Gordon Fine. I chair the board. Joining me tonight are Bill Gregory, Anthony Tripodi, Bob Fahey, our legal assistant, Kira Bruna. First thing we need to do is set up next month's meeting. So next month's meeting will be held here in the boardroom on July 28th at 6:30. Your mailings for that meeting must go out between July 5th and July 13th. If they go out before July 5th or after July 13th, we will not be able to open your hearing next month. In order to determine how you do your mailings, you go to the tax office here in Town Hall. You tell them you're doing a zoning board mailing. These instructions should all be in the packet that you're given at the building department. They will show you the names and addresses of those people you have to send the mailings to. There's a form you got to fill out that shows the names and addresses of those parties. You list it on that form. Bring that form with you to the next meeting or give it to the legal department prior to. The mailings must go out by first-class mail. They do not have to go out by certified mail, but you do need to do a certificate of mailing for each mailing. So it only costs about $1 per mailing as opposed to about $5 per mailing for certified. You also have to post your sign affidavit on the property and supply a photograph of the sign on the property along with the affidavit that the sign was posted properly. Site visits, if we have to do site visits, they'll be done on Saturday, July 23rd. We start around 9 a.m. here in the southern end of town and work our way north. Next order of business is to approve last month's minutes. Everybody received a copy?
Yes.
Any comments, questions?
No.
Then I move that we approve
Second.
the minutes of the May hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Let's move into meeting.
No problem. Okay, moving on to new business. We have Deneen Carey. Application new special use permit for a daycare facility as per section, I think it's what, Billy, 353? Right? Billy? It's 353 for daycare, right?
52.
It says 52.
Oh, excuse me, 53.
Yeah.
Yes.
As per section 353, not 52, as it says on the agenda of the town code. You're here on that application? Come up to the microphone. We're going to refer that to the building department. No changes since the last time?
Actually, didn't they
We put an addition on.
Okay, well, the building department will check that out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you just
Does
got done?
Westchester County
We
have to come
finished.
back
We got
out?
our
Finished.
CO
Building
yesterday.
That's great.
It's all building
Congratulations.
department.
Thank you so much.
Fire department?
They take care of all of that.
All right.
Okay, we'll set it down for a public hearing on the 28th, and I don't think we need to do a site visit. We'll rely upon the building department's memo for that. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Lachterman. Application for special use permit for the parking of a commercial vehicle in a residential area per section 362 at 201 Montrose Road. Good evening, Mr. Grace.
Good evening there. This is to Parker. He's in the Ice Cream Emergency, which is a mobile ice cream parlor truck. So he's going to be building a pole barn for it eventually.
Okay.
So we want to just start the process. Perhaps best maybe I notice it for the August meeting.
There is no August meeting.
Oh, there is. All right. So we'll put it on for the next one, and then I'll adjourn it to July.
Yeah, so we'll set it down.
September anyhow.
We'll refer to the building department. We'll set it down for site visit for the July meeting, so it's done, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, and then I just want to let you know that I've got Cavallo, myself, Grace.
Yeah, I made a
application,
note on all of those about the
And Clifford and
adjournments.
Wallack will be
That's
adjourned
fine.
at this point.
I'll announce as we get to those.
Okay, thank you.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nelson, anyone here on that? Application for special use permit to convert an existing garage into an accessory apartment at 3481 Wildwood Street. We'll refer that to the building department, set it down for a site visit on the 23rd. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Purpura, anyone here on that? Application for special use permit for a new accessory apartment. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Joseph Trombetta. I'm with Architectural Visions, representing Paul Purpura for tonight. We're before the zoning board to obtain a special permit for our client, Paul Purpura. He would like to convert his basement into a one-bedroom accessory apartment for his sister who desires to move in with him.
You have the listing from the code of all the requirements, right? Okay. As long as you follow that.
This site is served by town sewer and town water. The building inspector's letter indicates that our plans conform to the applicable codes, and we look forward to discussing the project at the public hearing next month.
Okay, we'll set it down for, refer to the building department, set it down for a site visit on the 23rd. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Marsoci? Did I say that right?
Yes.
There are two of these. First one is application for special use permit for a farm as per section 345. Excuse me. The other one is application for accessory structure without a principal structure at 1225 White Hill Road. Both applications are for that. Good evening.
Correct. Hi,
So you are?
Ken and Myra Marsoci.
Ah,
Okay. So you want, how many acres is the parcel?
It's a little over 7, about 7.25 acres.
Okay.
what kind of farm? What do you want to do? Cows? Flowers. Oh, cool. Excellent. Excellent. You got to do the hothouses and all that?
Yep.
Cool.
What is the accessory structure you want to put up?
A market stand?
Now, is that on is that part of the same parcel?
Yes.
It's, and if I may, I found
I think there's a photo in there too. It's a
I
8 by
found a
16,
section,
lean-to shed style.
Where's White Hill Road?
and let me just.
Where?
Farm use obviously is the special permit or the main use that you're going to have
Right.
on the property.
Right.
Now, there is a section of the ordinance under the Schedule of Regulations that basically says that you're allowed in an R1 zone as long as you meet the conditions.
Mhm.
Farms, farm uses, customary farm occupations, stables, plant and tree nurseries, and greenhouses in accordance with the provisions of 345,
Yes.
which is the main section you're dealing with, provided that no retail sales greater than 500 square feet in area is maintained on the premises in connection with the use. And I guess my question is the farm stand that you're going to build less than 500 square feet?
It
Yes.
is.
It is. Because one of the things, as a result of that, I think that we probably don't need that second variance. Because it's included in the
The other
use,
question I had is why would it be an accessory structure without a principal structure if it's on the same parcel?
right?
Well, right. That was some of the confusion.
Yeah.
There was no primary structure, so
But if it's on the same parcel as you have your other structures, then there is a principal structure.
Are there
is
other
a-
structures?
It's just land.
it's
No.
just
That's
It's
why.
not contiguous property,
It is continuous
There is-
land.
but it's a separate tax lot.
No, it's not.
No.
That's where my confusion is.
it was just it was a
It's-
vacant lot. It was an empty lot when we
understand.
purchased it.
It's
so.
if you look at the agenda, the lot is the same.
Right.
What's happening is that there's a little bit of confusion about an accessory structure being the only quote-unquote building
Correct.
on the property. But because we're using it, we're going under a 345, which is a special permit for a farm,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to go that far.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is there are other structures on this property, aren't
Are
there?
there other structures on the 7 acres?
There's
Is
a
your
greenhouse.
house there, or
No.
Okay.
so there's nothing there? It's just empty land.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
That's why.
That's why. There's
There
no
you go.
house.
There's a picture of a
Well, there's a greenhouse and that's it. But there's
Yeah.
no
Okay,
residence.
so what we're going to
Yeah.
do is
No.
we're going to set it down for a public hearing on the 28th, refer to the building department, ABACA, Conservation, and Planning, and set it down for a site visit, and then we'll make a determination on the whole thing next month as to whether or not you need the second
Do
variance or
they
not.
have to file a secret?
No, it's probably a short form anyway.
Short form,
I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at a picture of a 4 cooler and market stand. Is it already existing?
It is, it's not finished. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's construction started but not
Right.
Correct.
complete. All right, thank you.
Have you started the
No
flowers
show
yet?
location.
Yes.
Cool, cool.
Okay, so you're set with what we need?
I'm sorry? Say
You
it
set with
again?
your mailings, the signs, all that?
I have the sign. I guess I'll talk to Kira about the mailings.
You make sure you follow the
I mean, I
dates.
heard you at the beginning, but that was a lot of information, so I'll
Okay.
follow up with her on.
I mean, you didn't take notes?
It's all up here.
Okay, so do I have a second on the motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank
see you
you.
next month. Elizai, if I'm saying that right? Property at 1658 Amazon Road. This is an application to legalize 3 accessory apartments in a single-family home with an existing non-conforming cottage, making the total of 4 dwelling units in a single-family district. And it's also a second application to allow 2 primary structures on a lot where one is permitted as per section 321C, to allow a combined floor area of 3 accessory apartments of 1835 square feet where 800 square feet accessory apartment is permitted, To square feet of 800 square feet for accessory apartment permitted, let's see, to allow usage of property that is not owner occupied, and to allow 4 accessory apartments where 1 is permitted. Okay. All right, so we're going to set this down for a site visit, refer to the building department. We're also going to ask our legal department to run a building history, including all permits, plans for those permits, as well as any variances previously granted, and refer to the planning department.
One of the things that I'd like to just make clear in terms of the building department's memo is that part of the submission was as the assessor's card, and basically it listed some building permits that were there, that have been issued in the past. Sure.
Can you come up to the forum, please? State your name.
You know.
My name is Steve Fryette. I'm the assistant building inspector.
Oh,
for the
Steve,
town.
sorry, I didn't. I'd never met you before. I'm sorry.
Really? No, we've met.
He's
I
always
think-
sitting there
yeah.
staring at
I
you.
usually sit in the corner,
Yeah.
and I don't
I didn't
talk
make the
until I'm asked
connections. I'm
to.
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have the information we have on it is mainly from the assessor's card, but there were some permits for minor repairs over the years on it. Nothing specific to accessory apartments or cottages
Right.
or anything else like that.
And I guess that's basically what I think we're gonna need is, a fairly, whatever you have in terms of the history of the property, because obviously, we've got a situation here where we've got a couple of buildings, several units in them, and we'd like to know how they got there if we have any documentation.
Agreed, and
if
the building department has very little, and we've been using the assessor's card to get a lot of that information.
Okay, because I know that you may be able to see if there were any variances that were granted. I know I haven't been privy to how we're keeping records these days. You may want to go into the microfiche and check and see, because most of those old building permits were mic'd, so they're around.
Okay, will do.
As well as old zoning board variances.
Okay,
So I
Those
don't know,
telling you
hopefully you
what
still
actual-
have those floating around somewhere.
okay.
But,
we'll search again.
okay, because it would be helpful to know if there's any history that we should be
Aware of.
aware of.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Agreed.
And one of the things I think that the chairman has also indicated is that we're going to refer this to our legal counsel to determine whether or not this is in fact a use variance application or something else.
Agreed. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I won't forget the next time.
Do I have a second on the adjournment?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yankopolis, application for addition with a side yard setback of 4 feet where 30 is required at 1370 Baptist Church Road. Refer this to the building department, set it down for site visit and public hearing on the 28th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to the adjourned agenda. First, we have Carvalho, application to subdivide a lot containing 2 lots on the required 10,000 square feet, or minimum of 20,000 required at 1681 Summit Street. That one is being adjourned at the request of the applicant. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is Grace, application to allow caretaker's cottage per 300-47 of the code, 959 Hanover Street. That one's being adjourned at the request of the applicant. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Tamburello, application for special use permit for a new accessory apartment at 3061 Oak Street. That one's also being adjourned at the request of the applicant. Who I'm going to ask our legal department to check with the building department to follow up on this, since it's been kicking around for quite a long period of time already with the same memo. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Eliezer, come on up. Application legalizes a 6-foot-high fence and 2 side yards, or a maximum of 4.5 feet is permitted. 3761 Chesterfield Drive. Good evening.
Good evening.
Your name, please.
Machiavelli Eliza.
Okay. And you want to give us just a brief rundown of your application?
Yeah, so my wife and I, we installed the fence. We were unaware that a 6-foot fence has
Excuse
to
me
be.
one sec. Kira, could you?
Yep, I'm
Put
gonna
it
pull
up
it
on
up.
Thanks, Kira.
It's on that side also.
It's just
We were there.
Yeah.
It's a vinyl fence. Go ahead.
Yeah, we were unaware
yeah,
that it
yeah.
had to be 6 foot back from the front of the house. So we installed a fence for my daughter. She has autism and she is very dangerous at street.
That's a white vinyl fence, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So she likes to run out in the street, so it was a safety issue. That's why we installed it.
And it's all around the perimeter of the back
It's
of the
just in
property?
the front.
Just in the front? There's nothing
Yes.
on the sides?
Just not much, but about 10 feet on the sides.
Okay. Do we have any memos in there?
Yep, we should have building.
I don't have an actual. Do we have a paper file here?
I actually have to go and look now, right? What's the
Yeah.
name here? Eliza.
Okay, let's see what we got.
See the picture? I remember this now.
There's a letter here from the applicants, but I'm not going to read it since the applicant's here, but it is part of the file. We have a memo from the building department dated April 21st. They have no objections. That's the fence. Okay. Anybody in the audience have any comments on the application? Anybody on the board? We did a site visit on this, I think it was 2 months ago. You were adjourned last month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with it as long as the property's maintained, so I'm gonna move that we grant the application to legalize a 6-foot high fence and 2 side yards, a maximum of 4.5 feet is permitted, with the usual stipulations. This pertains only to the requested variance, not the remainder of the property line. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Easy peasy.
Janeo,
There's a file in this one.
application to allow construction of a front porch with a front yard setback of 23 feet with 30s required at 3197 Parmley Court. Good evening.
Good evening.
Your name?
Marcia
Last name?
Lopez.
Okay.
How are you? So we would like to get, my client wants to extend the gable and, going towards the front porch, removing the metal, flat roof that they have. Guys have pictures that I have sent?
Ooh, can I see that?
Do we have those pictures in the file, Kira?
Yep. Pulling them up.
We'll put up on the screen.
I'll give him my back. Just want to take a quick look. Let me see
This
this.
is the existing of the house.
Right.
This is the gable. They
Oh.
want to remove this, metal. And they
Right.
want to make it look a curve appealing, something just extended.
Do you want to go
gable out.
across the whole house or just
No,
here in the
just
front?
this, just in the entrance.
So you want to take the awning off and do this?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Just extend it, and then just,
Very cool. All right. Thanks.
everything stays.
Yeah, yeah. So you want to go all the way across and go up another 20?
No, not up here.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Don't worry. Okay.
We have a memo from the building department dated April 21st. Inspected the property, no objections. Applicant will need a building permit, obviously, and a C of O. Anybody in the audience have a comment on the application? This does not appear to be a major request, a major type of variance. I don't think it's going to have any kind of negative impact on the neighborhood. Anybody on the board have any comments?
From the pictures, I think it's a great, it has a nice addition, nice way of doing it. Rounds out the house, makes it look nice.
All right, then. I would move then that we grant the application to allow construction of a front porch with a front yard setback of 23 feet with 30s required at 3197 Parmley Court with the usual stipulations that the addition be built in substantial conformity to the plans submitted and that this pertains only to the requested variance, not the remainder of the property line. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Clifford, application allows subdivision of existing single-family lot into 2 non-conforming lots, one fronting on Central Street, one fronting on Summit Street, 1625 Central Street. This is being adjourned at the request of the applicant. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wallach Family Trust. Application to allow construction of a new barn accessory building with a height of 30 feet 2 inches, where 15 feet is permitted, at 1549 Jacob Road. This is being adjourned by the applicant. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on now to Public hearings, we have Rodriguez. Application for special use permit for a new accessory apartment at 898 Parkway Place. Good evening.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board.
Can you speak up a little louder, please?
My name's Gabrielle Salman. I'm an architect for Rodriguez, and I'll be seeking special permit to create accessory apartment in the basement ground level.
Now, you applied to create the apartment, this to build the apartment or for the permit?
We
It's for the
apply
permit.
for the permit, correct.
Okay, this is for the permit. Okay. Kira, can you put the plans up on this one? Okay.
That's existing basement.
How many square feet is the entire house, do you know?
Entire basement that we are building is 1,300.
And what's the whole house?
Hold on, I think it's 39 together
Okay.
with the basement.
And where do you have parking set up for the accessory?
There is a garage.
There's one
and-
behind you too, if it's easier to point to that one.
I think I see better.
Okay.
So there's a one parking spot in the garage and 3 outside.
And where's the main entrance going to be for the accessory?
From the rear yard.
What's the limitation on size? Isn't
It meets it, because it's not,
What's that?
it's not flagged, it's too big, so.
Yeah, the terrain slopes down towards the yard, and there's a full walk-in
Oh,
basement.
no, it is there, it is flagged. Okay, we have a memo from the building department dated June 21st. He says, upon review of the plans, the applicant require a variance for the accessory apartment for floor area of 1,350 square feet, where 800 feet is the maximum. There are no apparent violations and no other objections. So what's the reason why you're going over by about 500 square feet?
Originally, when we talked to building department, they said there was no limitation, so that's why we went with. I mean, its entire basement is open to outside. There's
Right, but besides
windows.
the permit, this means you also need a variance.
Correct.
But we're not noticed for a variance, we're only noticed for a permit. I think we may have to renotice it for the variance too. What do you think?
I would.
Yeah, Billy? Absolutely. She's gotta come up again.
This
You may wanna sit on the other side.
this is the guy from the building department, right?
Okay, this application didn't come to us first. This went right to the file for a zoning
Right.
special permit. Really, this type of application should, if it's a new apartment,
Mm-hmm.
Should have come
should
to
come
you.
to us
Yeah, it
first.
has to be denied in order to get the variance.
Right, so I can
Right.
give them the denial, and that's why I wrote it that way, because
Yeah.
they really need to apply for a building permit first, so I can deny it and then get it to you.
Correct.
Right.
That's my
That's the legal procedures. Before you can ask for variance, the building department has to deny your request. But since you didn't go to the building department first, they couldn't deny your request.
Well, we went to the building department first with the package that we were sent upstairs
Yeah.
to the zoning, so it wasn't very clear, but we'll do whatever we have
It's
to
nothing
do.
we can take care of, is what I'm saying, but it has to be
So
done
we
in the
have
correct
to
order. You're gonna have to
reapply
renotice for the variance as well.
All right.
So we'll carry the application for the permit.
For
You
a
don't have to
special
renotice for
permit
that.
and a variance for
Just renotice for the
access,
variance.
square footage.
Right.
All right.
One more comment.
Sure?
I think that the applicant needs to start with us.
You gotta go over there.
That's fine. We'll come to you.
So they can hear me. The applicant needs to file with us first.
Right.
Application for a building permit, then we can go through the process.
Now, our next meeting is July. So if you're gonna do this for the July meeting, you gotta do it relatively quickly, because you gotta do the notices between, July 5th and July 13th.
The plans are already done, so they just.
Yeah, as long as
it's a
you can
matter of
get-
getting the application.
Right.
in
Correct,
to
I'm
us.
just saying you gotta get
And
to,
I'll get it
and then you gotta do your mailings in that window in order to get into the July meeting.
Yeah, as long as you can accommodate them and get
That's
it given
fine.
to them.
I will. I'll do
Monday,
everything I
we
can.
deliver the
If you
package,
get it to me
and
Monday, I'll give it to them
that's
Monday
fine.
afternoon, I'll give them the denial.
Yeah, because otherwise, we don't have a meeting again until September
All
after
right.
July.
Whatever way I can.
Thank you. Appreciate
Great.
it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I move that we adjourn this to next month. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What's the reason for the adjournment? We call it proper notice? Proper
I
application?
just have to renotice for variance. Sansone? Application will allow an accessory structure with a height of 19 feet 6 inches where 15 is permitted, and for a front yard setback of a corner lot of 24 feet where 40 is required at 69 Sheila Court. Good evening.
Good evening. It's Sam. Sam.
You want to just run us through your application?
So we're looking to get a two-car garage. It's 24 by 24 feet. The actual height of it's 18 feet 6 inches. It's on a corner lot, like you said. It's on the side of the house towards the backyard, and the setback is only going to be 24 feet.
Now, what's the basis for the height, for the need for the extra height?
There's going to be a storage room above it.
What's the height of the interior of the storage room?
I believe it's 8 feet. That's in the center of it. There's dormers, so it's not full 8 feet.
And what's the height of the room underneath?
Sorry?
Height of the room underneath.
The garage.
For the garage?
Yeah.
8 feet.
8 feet?
Yes.
Now, this one we had a question of whether or not it's a front yard setback or a side yard setback.
Correct. From what I was being told, that there has to be, it's on the side of the house. If you look
Right.
at the front of the house, it's to the side. But they're saying, well, I was told that it has to be 40 feet on the front and the side.
And that is correct. And the way it's an R120 zone. So the way the house is basically laid out, the yard on Poplar Street is the front yard because the rear yard, which is directly opposite, has to be 40 feet as well. And that shows as 57 feet. Okay? The side yard equal to a front yard on a corner lot, and I know this confuses the heck out of people all the time, needs to be equal in distance to what's required in the front yard, but it's still called the side yard, okay? You still have one front yard, one rear yard, two side yards. So you've got one side yard equal to, in distance to a front yard of 41 feet.
Can you
and
repeat
that's the
this?
one on Sheila. The other thing that we're going to have to add, though, to this, if the board is inclined to grant it, is that the location of the structure, because you're in a side yard with it, in essence, you're in a front yard and in a side yard with this structure, is that basically the setback from the property line has to be 15 feet, not 10 feet. So we're going to have to add that to the variance if the board is so inclined to grant.
So what are we doing with the front yard of 24 or 40?
Front yard of 24 where 40 is required, and then a side yard of 10 where 15 is required.
Ten where 40 is required?
10 where
15 is required.
15 is required.
Give or take.
We have a memo from the building department dated June 21st. No objection to the granting of the relief. Applicant will need a building permit and a C of O. So the plans you submitted are final plans you're going with?
Correct.
Okay. Anybody in the audience have a comment on the application? Don't everybody jump up at once. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that we grant the application to allow an accessory structure with a height of 19 feet 6 inches where 15 feet is permitted, and for front yard setback of a corner lot of 24 feet where 40 is required, and for a side yard of 10 feet, excuse me, where 15 is required, at 69 Sheila Court with the usual stipulation. This pertains only to the requested variance, not the remainder of the property line, and that the addition be built in substantial conformity to the plans submitted. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome. Chang?
Come on down.
Application renewal of a special use permit for accessory apartment at 1480 Inspiration Road.
Yeah, hi, I just need to renew the,
Your name, please?
Kathy Chang. Just
Usually we
need-
handle these administratively. You don't even have to come in,
Yeah.
unless we ask you to come in, but you're very welcome to be
She wanted
here.
to see how the
Hi,
operation
guys.
ran and, just check us out.
I know there's nothing else on tonight, so.
So, yeah, I just need
Let's
to
see.
renew the application. It's third time renewing this. No
Memo from the
changes.
Building Department dated June 21st, no objections. Anybody on the audience have a comment on it? Okay.
Kira does.
I move we grant the application renewal of a special use permit for accessory apartment at 1480 Inspiration Road for a period of 3 years. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
Long. Application to allow the reconstruction and enlargement of an existing deck to legal non-conforming structure at 1680 Mogul Drive. Good evening.
Hi,
Your name?
Lorraine Long.
Okay. So what happened to the old deck?
Oh, after 35 years, it's time to renew
Served its
it.
use.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what was the size of the old deck?
I wish I could tell you. 12 by... I honestly don't.
Well, how much bigger are you making the new deck?
It's going 2 feet further out,
Okay.
and then 6 foot to one side and 6 foot to the other side.
Okay.
So you're 6 feet closer to your neighbor? Is that what you're saying?
Just the one, yeah, yes, yeah.
Remember, this is a co-op.
This is
So they have to
Those
get a
who
loan.
own some
Mogul,
property.
So they
Mogul
all have to
Park.
get a loan.
Okay, we have
Everything you do is a variance.
a letter here
Everything you have to do is a variance over there.
dated April 28th, signed by Nicole Von Elm, Director of Mogul Park, Inc. It's unanimous, the application unanimously approved by their Board of Directors. Okay. We have a memo from our Building Department, I believe, somewhere here.
Get your fingertips. Let's go.
At the bottom. Building Department memo dated June 21st. They have no objections. Anybody in the audience? Well, we only have 2 people left. Doesn't look like it.
She's so excited, she's texting on her phone.
I was only killing time, so don't worry about it. Okay, I would move then that we grant the application to allow the reconstruction and enlargement of an existing deck to legal non-conforming structure at 1680 Mogul Drive with the usual stipulation that it be built in substantial conformity with plans submitted, and this pertains only to the requested variance, not the remainder of the property line. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Have you lived there for 30 years?
30, close to 35.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. A lot of people start out in Mogul.
Yeah, that's good, but
That's cool. It's a nice neighborhood over there. I lived on Hollywood Street. Many years ago, I lived on Hollywood Street, so you think come through, so you know that back there is very nice. Very cool.
thank you.
All right.
Kipperman, must be you. Application for a deck with a side yard setback of 8 feet where 10 is required at 3221 North Deerfield Avenue. Good evening.
Good evening.
Your name?
Jen Kipperman.
Okay. There's everything in here upside down.
Right way. I didn't. Do you want
Is this an existing deck?
Yeah, it's been there since like 1970, and so time for a replacement.
So you're replacing the deck that's there and you're making it slightly bigger?
We're replacing it and bumping it out just a little to fit my husband's grill and my raised garden bed.
Very important.
Yeah, the essentials.
The grill is all that matters.
That's what he says, but I wanted the garden bed there.
Okay.
You're going to grow the vegetables right next to it so he can grill the vegetables.
Right from the tomatoes to the burger.
It's a give and take. You get the grill, I get the garden.
That's it.
We have a memo from the Building Department dated June 21st. They have no objections. I would ask if anybody in the audience would object, but
I
only,
will.
only Steve is here, and he already gave us a memo, so
I just want to add,
go ahead.
this deck that you're putting on is basically on the side of the house.
hmm
Is that correct?
Yeah, when you're
Any
looking,
reason why it shouldn't be 15? Decks are accessory structures. You can. You can go to 10 feet as long as it's in the rear yard. But an accessory structure in the side yard has got to meet the setback. So 15, let's do 15.
15 what?
Where 15 is
Okay.
required?
Where 15 is required, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the
So it's
deck
gonna
will
be-
have to be.
No,
No.
The deck.
Oh, okay.
What's going to happen is that the only thing that we're doing is changing it administratively to make sure
Oh,
it
okay.
comports with
Is
the
it still
ordinance.
going to read with side yard setback of 8 feet where 15 is required, or does that 8 foot change?
Yes.
Okay. 8 foot, that
The
does
o-
change?
The only thing that's changed is we're changing
10 is
the
15.
10 to 15.
Yeah, but everything else stays the same. Okay, got it. All
Correct.
right.
So I would move that we grant the application for a deck with a side yard setback of 8 feet where 15 is required at 3221 North Deerfield Avenue, with the usual stipulation this pertains only to the requested variance, not the remainder of the property line, and that the deck be built in substantial conformity to the plans submitted. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night. Thank you, Kira. Yeah, no problem.
I believe that wraps up our meeting.
Is it possible we did this in 35 minutes?
I would move now that we adjourn to the July meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good evening and happy zoning.
July.